Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of DETAUX Designers Talk UX. Paulo Coelho once said, whatever you decide to do, make sure it makes you happy. Today we have Swaraj with us, who studied computer applications and he sculpted his way out to work in the UX design with the likes of HCL and Adobe, and is here to share his story with us. Hey Swaraj, and welcome to DETAUX.
Hi Atul. Hello everyone. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening. How are you doing today?
Yes, great actually. Lots of family things around because doing work from home and as well as office work is still going on. So it's going good. It's a Friday actually. So
I know as you get older, no, you get like so many responsibilities, like apart from work, the family, and everything else that comes along.
True. It's up to the person actually. So for me, the responsibilities are from the beginning, I would say. Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, we all at the end of the day.
Actually, it's fun to have responsibilities around you. Other than you feel like very light.
Yeah,
So,
that's what keeps us going.
I never get bored of that actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So we got to know about your story, right?
Yeah.
You did your BCA, then you did your MCA, and then finally your UX design.
Yeah.
So really want to know how did that happen? Please go ahead.
Sure. To tell you the little bit of background is that UX design is something very new term for designers, at least in India. But for me as a designer, I am actually from childhood. So with the academic things, I was good at academic, but I had a very strong interest, in sketching and drawing. And then my actually art teacher was very supportive. My dad was not like that supportive. Those things were not into his mind. Only study and get a job. So that was very straightforward thing, definitely. But it started taking admission into a drawing classes. That time of we knew it how to draw, how to create basically fine art, you can say, and then how to create shapes, how to create idols. So I was very fond of those things, and I was kind of creative. So the funny thing is, even I used to get those thermocols in a packaging, like cartons, which we get in with some if you're getting TV or so. We had a new TV at that in childhood, and those thermocol boxes I used to assemble them to create a building. So that was my fun time actually in the noon when everyone used to sleep. So that is why it keeps going. I used to create sculptures using soil and all. And later on, I learned also from my teacher how to how to use soil to create sculpture. So that is all came. I don't know how it came actually. Maybe it was very natural. But yes, it was never into my mind that I'll take it up as a career, because in my community, in my surroundings, I hardly seen anybody that as a kind of designer is doing a job. So that point of time, it was like either be an engineer or become a doctor, or if you are from a middle class family, cannot afford that academic thing, then of course go for a honors like physics, maths, and become a teacher or grab a government job. So I was strongly against doing government job. I don't know. Looking at the kind of lifestyle from the people doing government job, that point of time, I was never in favor of that.
Nothing against it though.
Yeah. So so that is how it started. And I passed my 10th, 12th, everything was good. And then eventually the engineering kida, everyone gets a bite of it. So I also got a bite of it. But I did not know that computer, I got introduced somehow with my friend's brother's place. He used to give, training about language and all. So that is what I knew, that if I want to learn computer, then I have to do some sort of, language thing. And then technical things, of course. And that is how I had in my back of mind that if my engineering, if I'm not able to crack engineering, then definitely I'll choose the computer. And eventually it happened actually. In the normal academic thing like BSc or something, BCom, I did not choose. I eventually chose BCA. For that, actually, I traveled from my native place, basically where I took the education from Jharkhand state to Delhi with my friend. And that was the actually time when it started, basically a kind of, you can say, struggling, because I did not have anyone in Delhi to give a support, or probably to mentor me, to guide me what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So it was like flowing with the water stream. I have to complete BCA, then I'll have to get a job, and then I'll think of doing MCA. Definitely, that was not so much planned that point of time. So yes, I could have done. I completed my BCA, but at the same time, I grabbed a job. But just to have some money in hand, I thought of let's see what is it around that I can do. And obviously, creativity was there in my mind. So anytime I used to visit a cafe or see a computer, those flashy things. Flash was very much popular at that point of time, and those things were very much visible. The colorful pages on the internet. So obviously that drew me. I mean that grabbed my attention towards it. That how can I do it? Can I do that? And eventually I land up with a job wherein I had to update the database. And I used to see that somebody is coming working on the application, and some other designer. He used to call himself as an web designer. At that time, web design was very famous. So he used to design the web pages, and I used to keep watching that how he's doing. He's making CSS, how he's writing the code, what he's doing. So without even thinking that how he will react to me, I just started having conversation with that guy, and he was senior to me. And then I started asking how you are doing it. So it was like he said that, okay, Swaraj, come and meet me at my place. I can guide you something, or probably can see. So without thinking a fraction of seconds, I agreed. Definitely, I could not have lost that opportunity, and I went to his place early morning. He was sleeping. I woke him up. Get up! I have to learn. He just showed me a couple of web pages, and then he showed me, see, these are all the table. You can play with the table. This is CSS where you can play with the colors and styles and all. Nothing else. And he handed me a couple of CDs. Ye le ja, and use it. Then I got it, and I had the computer. I opened the page. I went into the code, and that is how I actually mastered the HTML and CSS without any other help.
Nice.
That was my first working on computers from my own capability. And then what happened? Like I learned this multimedia course from Oxford. That was a full package, 7 months course. I learned from there the Photoshop, and then Illustrator. I was not very much keen to learn Illustrator, but Photoshop was good for us because the course duration was not, it was very fast. Obviously, I couldn't grab much, but I learned Photoshop, and then I learned Flash. But job was not easy to grab that point of time. I know it without any experience. So I kept looking out jobs. So on papers, basically newspapers, I used to filter out those advertisement from which I used to see that who are their company who are providing design job. And couple of companies I visited without any experience. Obviously, I couldn't grab any one of them, but I put efforts to ask them if you can make me learn. Definitely, I'd be able to work on it. And that was the kind of whole notion. I have to do a design job. Then MCA and BCA all gone side of mine.
Okay.
One side. Like I don't want to do that coding and all. This is more interesting. Let's do it, and I can do it.
This was after your MCA?
So MCA I did it post doing job.
Post doing it.
I did not do it like BCA and MCA.
Okay.
I did BCA, and then I grabbed a job, and then I did MCA later. So I the surprising thing, I learned Java. I learned database, and then I took certifications as well. There's another opportunity came on my way, that is Adobe. The name itself, that time was a very big thing for me, that I'm getting opportunity in Adobe. So Adobe was a kind of a game changer for me. Why? Because it's a pool of products. I used to work on Photoshop, Dreamweaver, Illustrator, and suddenly I see the company is giving me opportunity to work with them, where I will get hands-on to every product I want, and that is I would say luxury out there. So here we are paying so much, and if you are in company, you can put your hands on any product, and you can work on it. You can see that product, and that was really a big opportunity for me at that point of time. So I grabbed that. There very good thing happened actually, which was kind of I would say a kind of change of mindset. So there I used to learn that how customers work with the company, basically the designer, or probably how the companies use the product. Basically, the customers use the product, and how they get frustrated if something goes wrong. So that is how I got introduced with the customers there. And that's how I came to know that it's something that when you make someone happy with your product, how it gives us satisfaction. Doing that course from HFI, because they in there I actually got introduced that what is user. Other than there was no one for me, for whom I'm working, for whom I'm designing, and it was really surprising for me. It was so fun to know about the facts about how users react. They started giving me some real-time examples, and it was quite quite delightful for me at that point of time. So I was like, full 100% agreement with that thing that I am going to do UX.
Awesome.
I
Calling.
That was a big decision for me. So I'm not going to. So my boss again came back to me and started saying, Swaraj, you should try AEM. AEM, and that is a full Java-based course. I mean, everything is full coded thing. Why don't you try AEM? I said no. Don't put me in dilemma. I know there might be a lot of opportunities in AEM, but that doesn't, give me interest. I'm not interested about it. However, I created a page on AEM as well, but it actually not interesting for me. So UX is very good for me. I was not part of a core UX team, so I had to know that how Adobe is doing the testing basically. So I started contributing with the designers who are working in the other like Utah or Dublin, in out of India, and then I saw that they are using Adobe Target and how they are putting that page, doing the A/B testing to verify, to validate the design. All these things learning kept happening all together with my job, and then eventually I got an opportunity down the line in HCL and with two other companies, of course. And both the opportunities were very good. One is a senior UX designer, the other was a creative director. So, and both were, of course, if I could have been there, then of course I could have get into core UX team, and I had a very good interaction over there. But somehow I joined HCL because of some XYZ reason. And in HCL again there was a blocker. The team which I joined, there is nothing such UX related.
Oh,
it is always like the design looking is very good, but there is no standard.
Right.
The designer, there is other designer sitting with me working, and he can create a very good design, but there is no standard.
So there was no process that was set up.
Process. That is why no standard. So you can grab any design sample out of the internet. Obviously, there was subscription,
right?
And you can modify that,
right.
And you make it good looking,
right.
And the other, sometimes it is without any logic. This used to look good, but no consistency.
Right. So, what do you think about people? I mean, is creativity something that you get from your childhood, or can it be owned over time? Like someone who thinks he's not creative. I mean, I feel everyone is creative in some way or the other, right? But can creativity be owned over time? Can it be learned?
Yeah, of course.
I think a trait that you would have from childhood.
Yeah, I mean, learning is something which basically help you to give a shape, or probably to focus on something.
Right.
I know that I could create sculptures in the childhood.
Right.
But if someone would have guided me that how to do it properly, so what is the proper way? That you first get a big size of mud, then you start giving it a shape or structures or.
Right.
But I did not do it, and I never learned that. So I had the creativity in since beginning, but I since did not learn it how to do it. So I don't know how to do it. But if someone still make me learn that, I would be able to do it. Yeah, I would be more creative. So that is what creativity is, something you may be born with, but you can also own it. Owning is something which you can grow probably.
So you mentioned about sketching, like you used to sketch a lot, and then later on also you wanted to sketch it out. But does that get lost, especially in digital design over time? Like when you move to digital, right? I mean, design as a subject or a field of study or as a practice, right? A lot of emphasis is given in terms of sketching out. Of course, it gives you the fastest way of putting your ideas on paper and a way to be able to communicate your design to someone else, right? But does it get lost, especially in the digital era now? I mean, I feel that especially in digital design, we tend to not use much of pen and paper still, right? I mean, maybe to scribble around your ideas a little bit, but not that level of sketching which would be involved in industrial design or product design, right? Where I think it becomes very important because the tools over there are more intense. I mean, in terms of consuming power on your system, it will be slow and laggy. So that's where it makes more sense. But doesn't digital design or UI design that level of sketching or does it get lost, or does it still exist?
No, it exists, but I agree to you. Actually, it is getting lost. To be very frank with you, it's like I've been planning since long that since I know sketching, why can't I create sketching and put it get it in on Illustrator, right? That is my plan, but it is not working out. This is one reason. The other reason is like in the fast-paced world right now, it's like you have to deliver things fast, right? So for the digital world, for the digital designers, they have to what they have to do is they have to come with the concept and pass on to the basically developers, so the developers can develop it and deliver it.
Right.
So there is a very a kind of hurry in terms of getting things done in a very fast pace. So that is how it is getting lost. At the same time, is that the requirement? So that also matters. If the digital in digital space, if that requirement is not there, obviously the designers do not have that scope to do it. But if you see a graphical designer or probably a game designer, they have a lot of space because their boss, the stakeholders would want them to do it first. That is how it starts. But for the application developer or the app developer, probably everything is getting automated or probably a pattern based. So that is how it is getting lost.
And any last words for people who are maybe still struggling to get through or overcome, and then who are trying to follow their passion? Any last words for them?
See, I will not. Everyone is doing struggle from their level, their capability, right? Everybody has their own personal constraint, right, at their level. So my message will be: at least do one thing which will make you happy, right? So keep one thing for yourself which will make you happy. So for me, like in a day, throughout the day, if I'm getting disturbed, or if I'm not good at mood, if I'm reacting a very odd way, then I just try to find out what is it that thing probably if I can do it and which will turn things out good. So that's why you should know what thing makes you happy. You have to become a designer. Of course, you are chasing that world, and you never know when you will be part of it. Like still now, I think I have to do a lot of things, and I'm still learning. So similarly, it will be a thing, thing which will keep on going, and will not be able to realize that you have become part of it. So that thing will keep on going, but at the same time, you do one thing at least in your life on a daily basis or weekly basis at least, which will make you happy and will help you to grow further and to fight it back actually.
Very appropriate. I think it sets perfectly on you as well, because like you took your first job without, I mean, you agreed to take your first job without getting paid because you wanted to do something that you really like and something that makes you happy.
Right.
All that matters. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, of course. At the end of the day, definitely it matters. And you see that I'm doing job, but still I have associated with you guys because I thought that it will give me again a level of happiness. And
thank you so much.
I'm really glad that I'm part of Designers now.
Thank you so much. And how's your experience been with Designers Academy?
The first and very important feedback kind of thing, that curriculum is really awesome. I mean, it's something I shared it on the call with Siddhant as well. Okay. That guys, you have made the amazing thing, which was missing actually. Our trainer or a mentor, comes on his own way, gives the education on his own way, and some people are able to learn it, some people are not able to learn it, some people may lose the interest. But here, actually, you have created a very good curriculum structure, and I'm really very happy about it. That's really great.
Thank you.
Of course, and the timing and everything is pretty set up. Like I can see that how startups are doing well in India, basically. And I think you are not startup anymore, right?
No, we're still a startup. We're still very young, so okay. It's a long way to go in terms of design, I think.
You guys are doing great.
Yeah, we're growing. Yeah.
And this is what I shared with Siddhant also. Like mentoring theory thing everywhere. Even if the ITN are also learning from IT, they are doing MDes. But the what I would say, the essence is not there basically. ITN is doing a job in the corporate, in the industry. So those things they don't know. After they don't get to know in IT. IT is not supposed to tell them that how you're going to handle your job. That is only a professional can tell you that how you can handle your situation. So if you guys are able to club it together and put it through for the aspiring candidates basically who wants to learn, and it's going really well. So thank you to all of you.
Thank you for your kind words, Swaraj. And I hope this inspires a lot of people, and anyone who wants to follow their passion and do the job that makes them happy. I hope this is a game changer for them as well.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and take care of yourself.
You too. Bye-bye.
So guys, that was it for today. We hope you liked the X2X story. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comment section down below. If you'd like to see more videos, please consider subscribing. That's it. Bye-bye. Take care.